Hello and welcome to Cousins Gymnasium in Medford, Massachusetts, home of the Tufts Jumbos as they host number 11 ranked Amherst in this NESCAC matchup. Tufts coming off a tough loss last night against co-NESCAC leaders Trinity, and Amherst coming off a big win at Bates last night. I'm Matt Macy-Phelps here with Matthew Lee for JumboCast. Thank you for tuning in. Matthew, how about this Amherst offense in the three-point line?
Well, Amherst likes to shoot a lot of threes. Out of their starting five, 4 of them consistently take, more than 3 three-pointers per game. And they also, Tufts and Amherst together, share to lead the 2 most points in the entire NESCAC per game. So this is probably going to be a high-scoring affair we're going to see here, probably in the 80s, maybe even the low 90s with the way these two offenses go.
Yeah, certainly. Tufts offense was held certainly below 80 points last night. They only shot 33% from the field, which limited their offense. Last night, Tom Pileski put up a big 25 points in the paint, and Vincent Pace put up 21 on the game, but some of the other Jumbos couldn't really get scoring. Smith and Spataford failed to make double figures where they were typically average on the year.
And you do have to wonder, yesterday Tufts relied really heavily on their starters, whether or not that's going to play into today. Amherst, the top team in the NESCAC, sure to be a very high-level game that they're going to lean heavy on their starters too. So we'll see how that affects their stamina.
Yeah, Amherst with only 3 losses on the year and only 1 in conference play, that coming to Colby by 2 points. They also lost to Wesleyan early in the year, but that one didn't count for the NESCAC standings themselves. So a look at the NESCAC standings. Amherst 6-1 on top. They beat Trinity recently, so Trinity picked up their first conference loss. Behind them is Middlebury, who did beat Tufts in overtime. Then there's Tufts, tied with Wesleyan. The Cardinals came up on top of the Jumbos, also in overtime. Looking further down, Conn College, Williams, normally one of the top contenders, but lower down on the table this year. And the main schools there, Bowdoin, Bates, and Colby, all in an order, and Hamilton on bottom. So with the NESCAC tournament coming up, Matt, what do you think is what the Jumbos have to get done?
Well, if you're the Jumbos, you want to stay in that top 4 because you want to host that first playoff game at home and really set yourself up well for the NESCAC playoffs. And it's looking like they can still make a run at 3rd place right now. Middlebury still has to play Amherst, which will surely be a tough game for them. And it looks like we're getting ready for the national anthem here.
Yeah, we'll go through the starting lineups. Probably not too many surprises on what the teams will put out there. And then we'll get the national anthem. We do have the pep band in the house, and Cousins is starting to fill up. So we'll rejoin you in a couple minutes.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Cousins Gym for this afternoon's NESCAC men's basketball game between visiting Amherst College and your Tufts University Jumbos. Before we begin today's pregame ceremonies, we ask you to please stand, remove your hats to honor America and those who serve it at home and abroad as the Tufts pep band plays our national anthem.
And we're about to get underway. The Amherst starters coming up first.
Ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon is Seniors Day.
Oh, and we're going to get a
Tufts University men's
little message from the PA.
basketball.
It is senior day here
Start of today's game,
for the
we're going to
Jumbos.
take a moment to honor
So we
our
will
three
honor the seniors right now.
Stephen Haladina, Zach Roswald, and Ryan Spataford.
Stephen Haladina, Zach Roswald, and Ryan Spataford, the three seniors for the Jumbos.
Best in New England this season with a 16-win and 5-loss overall record. Tufts would also like to say thank you to our senior parents who have been an incredible support system for the team. Greg and Denise Haladina, Ken and Nancy Spataford, and Scott and Kate Roswald. Now let's meet our 2016 seniors. Zach Roswald is from Batavia, Illinois. Zach is a great teammate who has worked hard to become a
And here we got Zach Roswald first up, the senior center.
A 6'7" center. He's a very intelligent basketball player who's been willing to take on whatever role is asked of him. Zach is one of the best shooters on the team and seems to shoot even better when he is guarded closely.
Looks like his parents
Zach
are both
loves
here.
to play and is one of those guys who truly enjoys being in the gym playing with his teammates every day. Congratulations, Zach, and thanks for your dedication to Tufts basketball. Next up are our senior captains, Stephen Haladina and Ryan Spataford. The Splash Brothers are very competitive and inclusive, making sure that everyone on the team is on the same page and feels like they have a big part in how the season is going. From South Hamilton, Massachusetts, Stephen Haladina. Stephen.
And Stephen Haladina here, starting guard.
Since day one to the guy who holds everyone accountable. Hal just wants to win and has an extremely high basketball IQ. He loves challenges and looks to make any activity into a competition. Today is Stephen's 94th appearance for the Jumbos, and he enters today's game with 931 career points. He is among the
931 career points, just mentioned for Haladina, so.
Also a co-captain of the team, great leader, very important, plays that important leadership role in this team along with his fellow senior Spataford, who's about to be introduced too.
Yeah, 931 for the senior, 69 points away from 1,000, and not too unthinkable. You got 3 regular season games left. You got NESCAC tournament. We'll see how many games we get there, and potentially NCAA tournament. We'll see how far this Tufts team goes, but must be a little bit in the back of Haladina's mind.
Ryan is the vocal leader of this year's team and makes everyone rise to his level of energy day in and day out. A transfer from Navy, Spat has played 64 games in 3 seasons and recently entered the Jumbo program's top 20 for career three-pointers with 83. He's shooting a strong 45.5% from three-point territory in NESCAC games. Congratulations, Ryan, and thanks for your dedication to Tufts basketball.
Ryan Spataford there, mentioned shooting 45% from 3. And his jersey number reflects that.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a final round
Yeah,
of
definitely,
applause
as
for
the announcer mentioned, a great transfer addition for the Tufts team, eventually rising to become a co-captain.
Yeah, the transfers helping and hurting the Jumbos. Of course, they lost Hunter Sabetti this year to Hofstra, but getting Spataford from Navy, like a D1 program, is always great.
visitors from Amherst.
And here's the Amherst lineup.
6'2" sophomore from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, number 5.
And first up,
Jade Dawson.
it's the sophomore guard from Montreal. It's Jade Dawson.
A 6'5" sophomore from Medfield, Massachusetts, number 10.
And a 6'5" sophomore, Johnny McCarthy, out of Medfield, Mass. Attended Noble and Greenough. That's where I went to summer camp. And number 15, the junior forward, 6'8", out of Philly, David George.
George had a great game in the NESCAC playoffs last year against Tufts.
Number 22, Jeff Racy.
And number 22, junior guard Jeff Racy,
The 6'4"
out of Richfield, Connecticut.
number 24, Connor
And the
Green.
leader for the team, Connor Green, senior, out of Bedford, New Hampshire.
Kevin Hopkins, Aaron Toomey,
Green also dropped more than 20 points in that win over Tufts Amherst had last year.
And from last night, Jade Dawson had 22 points to go along with 8 assists. Johnny McCarthy put up 24 points with 13 boards for the double-double. And over on the Tufts end, that's Tom Pileski, who put up 25 last night. Ryan Spadaford, senior, ready to play potentially his last home game, at least last regular season home game here for Tufts.
Number 11, Stephen Haladina.
And joining him is senior Stephen Haladina.
5'11" junior from the Bronx, New York. Number 12, Tariq Smith.
And Tariq Smith, starting point guard, junior out of the Bronx.
From Bridgewater, New Jersey. Number 13.
And the leading scorer for the Jumbos with 18 per game on the year, Vincent Pace, the sophomore. So Tufts trying to come off a loss and stick it to the NESCAC leaders, and Amherst really trying to maintain their advantage over Trinity here in the conference. So massive game here.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a great game. Both teams have great offensive systems, very high scoring, very efficient. So we'll see who gets into their rhythm first, and whether or not any team can put up a good defensive ploy and throw people off, throw the other team off.
Yeah, we saw last night the Tufts defense struggled with Trinity, who took it inside and out on them. But really it was the Tufts offense that was lacking the firepower last night. So we'll see if they can rebound. Amherst with quite the tall lineup. That'll be tough for the Jumbos to shoot over. Everyone on Amherst's lineup is listed at 6 foot or taller, and all but one player, 6'2" or taller. Yeah, and I saw this Amherst team down on the court, and it just made the Tufts team look small. You know they're big, but
other than George, they seem to have a couple of other bigs on the bench that are 6'8" or above. I think they have a freshman that's 6'10". We'll look to see if he comes into the game and can make an impact. But here's tip-off.
George and Pileski. And we're underway. That'll be Amherst ball. Amherst in the white, Tufts in blue.
Tufts sets up right into a 2-3 zone here. Or it could be a shifting zone, but it looks like they're going man first.
Yeah, we did see some of that 2-3 last night, though, in a couple plays. And coming off the pick, Green puts up the 16-footer and hits immediately.
You see Spadaford there not giving up the 3. He knows Amherst likes to shoot the 3, but played a bit too close, and Green was able to blow by him.
Pace on the wing. We'll go down low to Pileski. And the jumper will not roll in. That's McCarthy with the board. Tipped out by Pace.
Pace playing the passing lanes well there, getting that deflection. You don't want Amherst to fall into an early rhythm here when there's such a high-octane offense.
Dawson to George. No charge, and the bucket's good for George.
We saw early in warm-ups the Jumbos were practicing taking charges, and we'll see whether or not down the game they can get a couple of those calls.
Smith left open, drives to the paint. From the elbow, no good by Pileski. McCarthy from the elbow. No good, and George got away with an over the back there. Pretty egregious, no foul called. Spadaford launches from deep. He hits!
Spadaford hitting the 3. Great three-point shooter for Tufts, probably one of the best shooters on the team. Good to see him get going early.
McCarthy. George. And the baby hook, no good. It was well short. Tufts pushing the pace, and Smith slips up. A little moisture on the court. Pace launches from way out, and that's short. Pileski's there for the board. He'll drive it right to the glass and lays it in, gives Tufts the lead.
Drew George out there on the battle for the rebound, just took him off the dribble. Beat him with the first step.
And no help there for George. Green left open, corner 3, hits!
3 points, Connor Green.
The prolific shooter Green now already with 5.
Smith from the top of the key. That's a 3, and that's well off the mark. Pileski with the offensive board. He'll go to the line.
Pileski's been pretty active to start off the game. He's got a couple of rebounds already. It seems like Tufts wants to run a lot of their offense through him too, off the quick pick and roll with the 1 guard or the 2 guard.
That foul is on Jeff Racy. And Pileski leaves it short. Alright. The second, Pileski's good. And Connor Green leads Amherst in scoring at over 14 points per game. And he's hit over 50 threes on the year.
Connor Green takes about 7 threes per game, according to the NESCAC stats, and so he really likes to shoot it from outside the three-point line. Amherst as a team in general, as you saw McCarthy there, just loves to pull up from 3.
Pace, Spatterford driving baseline, reverse layup doesn't go, but it'll stay with Tufts.
Great recognition off the pick and roll. There's too much help, and so that baseline cut, they got a good layup there, just didn't finish.
Haladinha in the paint, and the shot will bounce in. Back and forth, Tufts with the lead again. Green off the pick, pull up 3. That's no good, but Racy is left wide open for the board, and it's stolen away by Pace. Haladinha on the baseline. Layup is left short.
Spatterford looked like he had a seal down low, but nobody could find him.
And that's Dawson quickly the other way. Lefty layup goes.
Amherst also looking really fluent in their transition game too, so Tufts will have to be wary and get back on defense.
Pileski in the post, nice move. And his shot rattles out. Green with the board. Racy open 3, that's long, and it bounces over. It'll be Tufts' ball. So already some high scoring. Just over 4 minutes through this first half. Pace takes it himself, finger roll, good.
Pace, the top scorer of Tufts with that 6'5" frame at the 2 guard. Really hard to stop when he penetrates.
George down low, hook shot left short again. And they'll call a foul on George on the board.
And that's been like the 3rd or 4th time George has done that, have a really physical rebounding move there. Finally gets called for one.
And Drew Madsen comes in for Pileski. That's George's first foul. I guess Sheldon realizing that George can't be too physical right now. Doesn't want to pick up a second foul early on.
Get Pileski some early rest, so he'll be fresh for the rest of the game.
Pace kicks to Smith. Pace pulls up off the pick. 3's good. They'll need Pace to rein in the points today. Dawson pull up. That's short. Smith with the board.
A lot of long rebounds with Tufts, with Amherst taking all these 3s, and here's Tufts in the break.
Smith and one.
Guards like Smith are going to get a lot of those long rebounds with Amherst, and here on the replay you see Smith picks up the rebound, goes all the way, gets the and one.
Yeah, and it's just sort of a slow transition break there, and he came off the pick. No one on Amherst picked him up. And some substitutions now. George will go to the bench with his second foul, as we mentioned earlier. He's already in foul trouble. Coming in will be Eric Conklin for him. And Smith cannot complete the 3-point play. And for Tufts, Ben Engvall is into the game, replacing Spataford.
Oh, nice
great
pass.
Yeah, great feed from Dawson. No finish from Conklin, and he'll get the and one off the offensive rebound.
And Tufts on the rotations. When there's a pick and roll, everybody's kind of out of position. So even though you can't make it here, you see now Pace is late. Nobody's boxing out the man because everybody's sort of out of position there. The rotations are everybody's gonna have to be wary of where they got to be.
And number 12, Reed Berman, the junior guard, coming into the game for the Lord Jeffs. And a three-point play completed by Eric Conklin, so Tufts with a three-point advantage now. Haladinha in the paint. Shot is good. Conklin working on Madsen. Off the glass. No good.
Amherst really doesn't milk the shot clock at all. They take a lot of quick shots. The Tufts can get right back with the transition game here. And here's Smith again.
And Madsen will get the tip in. He does that well. Berman with the travel. He thought it was tipped by Smith, but they'll call a jump ball actually.
I think
so.
Yeah.
It'll stay with the jumbo. It'll go to the jumbos. Excuse me.
We have a timeout here. And as we expected, a very high-scoring game. 7 minutes in, 19-12, Tufts up 7. Matt, what do you make of the Amherst offense so far?
Did you know that
it's been a little lackluster. They've gone down to George a bit, but not as much movement as you expect from them.
I feel like they're in trying to keep up their up-tempo offense. They've sacrificed a lot of ball movement and taking, the quick shot, the first opportunity that presents itself.
Yeah,
that's probably a good part on Tufts' defense too, playing good ball denial, sticking close to their man, so you don't get those open opportunities. And Amherst often taking a lot of not ideal shots. On the Tufts end, they've been converting well off those rebounds and turning them into transition opportunities, which is why you see them with the 7-point lead thus far.
Yeah, they've gone to Connor Green, pulling up for a couple jumpers. Those work for him, but unless you go off for a really hot game, that'll eventually fizzle out. Thomas Lapham running the point now for the Jumbos. And Pileski and Spataford are back on the court. Spataford. And Engvall lost a handle. Green with a nice play. He'll get it up to McCarthy on the fast break. And he'll throw it in with the dunk.
Johnny McCarthy.
Pileski off the spin, lays it in.
Nice baseline spin there.
So the post moves are working for the big man.
And now David George is off. And Amherst has to go to their reserves to guard Pileski. Maybe he can get a couple extra buckets here.
Racy had it stolen away by Haladinha. Engvall gets it up to Spataford. Spin move. Layup no good, but Haladinha's tip almost goes. Amherst back the other way. Berman feeds to Green with a nice up and under there for the layup.
Connor Green.
Both teams putting up points in a hurry. A lot of transition buckets. Let's see how Tufts can come out of this half-court set.
They'll go back to Pileski. Hook shot. Rims out. Shot no good. Rebound will go to Tufts. Substitutions now. Senior Roswald coming into the game. He'll replace Pileski. And Pace will return for Haladinha. And for the Lord Jeffs, it'll be number 11, Michael Riopel coming in.
I think Riopel's going to come in on the next play. He looks like he's still sitting out there.
Engvall launches. Rebound to Conklin. McCarthy in the paint. Awkward shot. And Engvall will tip it away. Leading the fast break now. Spataford pulls up from 10 feet. Leaves it well short. Thought he got fouled. McCarthy. Conklin now. And Roswell with some good defense.
Drummer's doing well protecting the boards in this game thus far. Amherst hasn't been able to get too many second chance opportunities. Here's Pace again.
He'll stick with it and put it in. That is the 6th offensive rebound for the Jumbos compared to only 2 for Amherst so far. And Conklin is fouled by Roswald. Only the 2nd team foul on Tufts.
Tufts thus far, when they've been able to contain Amherst and force them to run a half-court set, has been very successful with their defense.
And Everett Dayton replacing Lapham. And coming in for the Lord Jeffs are Michael Riopel and looks like Jacob Nabatov. Conklin down low. And looks like we'll get a jump ball forced by Roswald, so it'll stay on this end of the court.
Roswald playing, not backing down at all to Conklin's post moves. Playing very tough defense.
Riopel here. We're going to Nabatov. Double team off the glass, no good. Conklin there for the offensive board. He'll lay it right in.
We talked about before the game that Amherst length coming into play there. They would grab the board.
Everett Dayton left open. Three's good. That'll get a rise out of the bench and the crowd.
It's interesting here. Tufts playing with the small ball lineup right now.
And a turnover there from Riopel. Looked like he dribbled on the line.
Amherst with 2 bigs on. Tufts with only Roswell really, and 4 guard-type players. Interesting dynamic there.
Yeah, taking advantage of David George on the bench, and Amherst is forced to call timeout here. Frustration for Coach David Hickson. So Amherst's flow really disrupted by this foul trouble. And getting an announcement right now, it is Autism Awareness Day in college basketball at Tufts. So you can go to giving.tufts.edu/med, that's MED, and you can select autism research in the select an area drop-down menu.
This event is run through the Tufts School of Medicine, who puts a lot of research efforts into combating autism and putting it and publishing their findings. And so that's where the money would go to.
And a look at President Monaco there on the right in the suit. And I know that's Provost Harris on the left. I don't know who the man is in the middle, but he's got to be important to be sitting with those guys.
Monaco looking at the program, learning the players' names just like we are.
Yeah. So we'll come back out. Tufts with the same lineup. So Jumbo is leading by 8 over the first place team in the NESCAC, Amherst. Just past the halfway point. And Engvall kicks it out. Amherst running the 2-3 zone. Roswald launches the 3 and he hits it. Zach Roswald, the senior, taking advantage of his court time.
Roswald stretching the floor there, even though playing at like the 5 position, steps out and drains the 3.
And Tufts going with the zone of their own. And Riopel, his 3 is way short. Pace comes away with it. Tufts up by 11. They can really push it here. And Pace no good. He had some options on the perimeter that he missed.
And the crowd's gotten into this game now after that 3 by Roswell.
Berman driving on Engvall. And stepped on the baseline. So substitutions now. Smith and Pileski coming back in. And Dawson will return for the Lord Jeffs. Berman to the bench. And for the Jumbos, it's Roswald getting a big hand after that 3, and Everett Dayton also to the bench. Roswald probably one of the biggest buckets of his Tufts career right there. Big momentum builder.
Amherst falls back into the zone. The man zone wasn't working out too well.
And Pileski puts it right over him.
If you're going to single man coverage Pileski, he is going to go to his array of moves down on the block.
And they'll go to, and a block from Pileski. And they'll call a foul here on the floor. So Nabokov not getting that shot off.
Fouls on number 2, Tom Pileski.
Look at the replay here.
Third on the team.
Pileski called for the foul there. We'll take a look at it.
I think it's after he locked arms there after the play. That's probably what a foul was, so it wasn't a shooting foul.
And McCarthy with the step back 3. No good. Jumbo's up 13, looking to stretch it. Spatterford from the corner, hits it!
Jumbo's making those extra passes to get better looks, whereas on the other end, you have Amherst taking a lot of forced 3s, not open 3s or in-rhythm 3s.
Amherst in crisis mode. This is the Lord Jeffs team that lost in a blowout. And Smith with the block, and Tufts ball. Paladina coming back in off the bench, and the Tufts bench is pretty lit right now.
Smith not giving up on the play, although he was beat off the pick and roll, stays with it and gets the block. Always gets the crowd going when the little man gets a block like that.
And last year Amherst hosted Tufts and lost in a blowout fashion. Tufts looking to do that again here. Spatterford kicks. And a turnover there from Engvall on the pass to Pileski.
Engvall a bit rushed there on the pass. Pileski couldn't handle it. Not too many turnovers thus far from Tufts, so they've been doing decently on that front.
I believe that was just the second turnover for the Bows. McCarthy in the paint. He's got that awkward one-hander, and it doesn't go again, but a travel called here on Nabokov. Vincent Pace coming back in, Spatterford to the bench. And another timeout by Amherst. It'll be a full timeout. And another replay here.
You see here, Tariq Smith with the block. Amherst on the offensive end needs to get something going. They've been taking a lot of forced shots, and we remind you, coming up is the JumboCast halftime show. If you want your tweet to be featured, tweet your questions at Tufts JumboCast, and we might post your tweet at halftime.
So Amherst really falling back here. Tufts, they've hit the century mark several times this season, and they average over 80 points a game. And they look to be well on track to do that tonight.
Definitely.
So Amherst really needs to limit the Jumbo scoring. Tufts shooting 14 of 29 right now, including 5 of 8 from 3 and only 1 of 3 from the line. 6 offensive rebounds, and Tufts with 5 points off turnovers and 9 second chance points. So Amherst needs to limit Tufts in those areas. So Smith, Haladina, Engvall, Pileski, and Pace on the floor for the Jumbos. Dawson, McCarthy, Riopel, and Pace almost puts in the alley-oop.
Great play right out of the timeout, drawn out by Tufts, but Pace couldn't finish it.
Dawson now. It's Smith with another block. We're saying for the Ward Jeffs, Dawson, Conklin, McCarthy, Nabatoff, and Riopel on the floor. Pileski wide open. 3 rattles out, and Nabatoff with the board.
Pileski does take about 1 3 per game there, and so he does step out occasionally and pull up for the 3.
And he's hitting over 50% from beyond the arc this year. And Riopel in the lane, blocked by Pileski out of bounds.
We've seen 3 consecutive blocks by the Tufts on defense.
Yeah, quite the block party here. As 3 Lord Jeffs come off the bench, it looks like George coming back into the game. He's got 2 fouls. Green and Racy for the Lord Jeffs. Tufts with now 4 blocks on the game, 2 apiece for Pileski and Smith. Racy goes down to George, and it rattles off the glass. George on the offensive board. He'll draw the foul on Pileski. That'll be Pileski's second.
Great patience by George there with the pump fake, get Pileski in the air.
David George in the line shooting 2.
Yeah, the shot's might not be falling for George, but if he can go up and get contact, he'll hit some from the free throw line.
Probably his touch isn't feeling that well after sitting for so long and early on in this game. But he can probably rediscover that by getting on the free throw line and establish some much-needed post offense for Amherst.
And he'll hit the second one. So Tufts up by 15. 5.5 left to go in the first half. Pileski works it on George and gets the layup. Timeout Tufts.
Yeah, baseline spin move again on the right block by Pileski.
And
Goes
George,
through it again. Here you see
replay here.
looks off the double team, baseline spin with the drop step, easy bucket.
Yeah, he just put his weight on the opposite shoulder. George positioned himself that way, and George can't really play too physically right now on 2 fouls. And Pileski just spun the other way, brought it home.
Also, Pileski's such a great passer. You can't just double team him. He'll easily hit the open man. Tufts shooting the 3 ball so well this season. It really helps space out the floor and gives Pileski the room to operate there.
Yeah, you saw Dawson go down to help there, but he couldn't fully commit and leave Tariq Smith open from 3. So we'll look at the live stats right now. Pileski with 9 points already and 5 boards. Halfway to a double-double. And on the other end, it's Connor Green still with 7 points, leading for the Lord Jeffs.
Connor Green hasn't seen as much playing time this half as we expected him to.
And a circus shot there from Green doesn't go.
He's back on right now.
Pace feeds Madsen. Reverse layup doesn't go.
Pace created the space there. Madsen just couldn't finish.
And Riopel with a nice move. George working on Madsen, got fouled. He'll go to the line again. So Pileski back on the bench with 2 fouls.
Foul on number 32, Drew Madsen's first foul, 5th on the team.
And we saw foul trouble really hurt the Jumbos last night. Vincent Pace picked up 4 early in the second half. And Trinity was in the bonus for quite a bit of the game and really put Tufts away from the free throw line. And George misses the first again.
George unable to find his stroke thus far.
And Pileski making some moose ears over there over the bench. And misses both, so 1 of 4 from 2 trips to the line for George. Pace on the drive. Doesn't go. Madsen, though, pokes it away, and his layup will fall.
Madsen not giving up the play and making up for that early miss on the last possession.
I don't know the percentage, but quite a bit of Drew Madsen's points come on second chances. And Riopel sends it back out to Dawson.
Jumbo's switching a lot if it's guards on the pick and roll here. So far, it's been effective in keeping up with the Amherst shooters. It just doesn't, so the screen rolls don't create that normal space that they usually do when you switch.
And Spatterford and Stephon DeVivier coming in for Tufts. We've got a timeout here.
Timeout Amherst.
From Amherst, their third timeout of the game.
Amherst coach using a lot of his timeouts early, really trying to establish some rhythm. I guess he doesn't want to go down into the half, down by a lot. And here's a replay of a spin move, but the block by Pulaski. And that's just one of the quite a few great defensive plays Tufts has put up in this half.
And look at the pep band here.
If you tune in JumboCast in the fall for football, it's also the pep band that is creating a great atmosphere for the home games.
And a little bit of purple, but mostly blue in this crowd. Seems like Amherst is taking over the far sideline. But Tufts doubling up the Lord Jeffs right now, 38-19, under 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, holding an offense that averages over 80 points per game to just 19 with only less than 4 minutes left in the first half is a really impressive defensive effort. For Amherst here, you want to get something going so you can feel good going into the locker room for halftime. We'll see if they're able to do so.
Green drives. His layup will fall.
Great after the timeout play there to get Green going.
Pace guarded by Riopel. Smith will launch, deep three. Rims out, and Dawson comes away with the board. And no good on the layup.
Great help by Madsen there to alter the shot.
DeVivier, his first set on the court today. And Spatterford gets in the lane and gets the layup to go.
Spatterford has shown us quite the array of moves today. You know, the three-point pull-up, drives to the basket, really scoring on multiple different methods.
And a hard screen there, blocked from Madsen, and it'll go off Amherst, tough ball. Substitutions now, Roswald coming in for Madsen, and McCarthy coming in to replace Riopel.
Jumbo's playing a rather deep rotation this half. People are getting subbed off for very short spurts. Everybody's getting some playing time in. And it's paid off well. A lot of great defensive energy. It's getting the crowd into the game too.
And Berman comes in to replace Dawson. Yeah, Roswald doesn't typically get many minutes, and you'd think on senior day he might get minutes towards the end of the game, but Roswald coming in with an impact here as Pace drives, and his layup goes.
Pace with the left hand going off the glass, evades the help defense there.
And you can see some frustration in the body language of some of these Lord Jeffs. Roswald, the tough task of guarding George now. McCarthy finds an open Berman.
Jumbo's
McCarthy, open three, hits it from the corner.
There you go, off the pick. Everybody was, again, a bit out of their rotations there. It resulted in the open three.
Roswald launches the three, and can't get that one to fall.
Again, you see that switch there off the pick and roll, so you don't get that much spacing for those shooters on Amherst.
McCarthy in the lane, guarded by Pace. Fall away, no good. George pulls in the offensive rebound and gets the layup.
David George.
George, although limited in minutes, has been quite effective when he is on the floor.
Ooh, Smith kicks it to DeVivier. Open Roswald, launches the three, Gets it to go, and the crowd erupts. Zach Roswald on senior night. And they're emptying the quiver over on the Tufts sideline.
Your center can step out there, and as we think we have the replay here. See, Roswell steps out. George wasn't going to go all the way out there. He just leaves him there to take that three.
The initial rotation caused there by Smith as he drove in the lane. Duvivier with the kick out, and off the inbounds, it's Green again. So Green with a sneaky little basket. 45 seconds left. Pace launches from deep, and Racy with the board.
They've been trying to go 2 for 1 there, but now you got a transition opportunity.
Green's layup doesn't go, and 2 players coming down with it. It'll be a jump ball. It'll go to Tufts. And Pileski and Haladina will come back in. And they'll replace Roswald and Duvivier. So Roswald again for the second time on the court puts in his fair share. And the Jumbos will probably dribble most of this out. About a 3-second difference between the shot and game clocks.
Jumbos in this 1-4 flat. We'll see what comes out of it.
8 on the shot clock. And Pileski from 3. That's well left. McCarthy with 2 seconds left. He'll put up a half quarter. And that goes! Johnny McCarthy. Poking his finger there as that shot falls. I saw it go up and it looked like it really had the arc. So McCarthy with about a 60-footer gets to go off the glass. Tufts will still have a 14-point advantage, but nice shot.
It was definitely before the horn too. Great shot by McCarthy.
So with that, Tufts with an impressive 45-31 lead over Amherst at half. Make sure you join us for the halftime show. Tweet your questions to @Tufts JumboCast. But Tufts with a shocking upset in the works. Make sure you join us for halftime and the second half. Hello and welcome to halftime here at Cousins Gymnasium. Tufts Jumbos with a 45-31 lead here. I'm Matt Macy-Phelps here with Matthew Lee. Matthew, what are your first impressions on that half of basketball?
Oh, very surprising difference. I don't think anybody expected Tufts to be up by 14 points at the half. I think it's been a great team defensive effort Tufts has shown. Only Connor Green, the top scorer, has been able to get involved with a bit of contributions from McCarthy, but the rest of the other Amherst players, they're usually really prolific three-point shooters, really haven't been able to get going. I think David George getting into early foul trouble also limited any sort of post play that we usually have too.
Yeah, strong perimeter defense from the Jumbos, and also down low, Tufts with some good rim protection, 5 blocks in that first half that we saw, and maybe even 6. One might not have made it to the stat sheet. Pileski with 3. Tariq Smith looked like he had 2 in that half, so Amherst finding it difficult to get shots up.
Yeah, and for Amherst on the defensive end, in contrast, they don't have any blocks at all at the half, and so you have to wonder what sort of adjustments they're talking about in the locker room now to deal with the Tufts offense. They've been going a lot to Pileski on the block and establishing stuff with that, running their offense out of that, or sometimes, Tufts really has so many different looks. You saw Roswell stepping out, taking a couple of threes, so forcing Amherst to make a lot of reactions there, and we'll see what they'll come out with out of the locker room to counter that.
Yeah, and both of Tufts' leading scorers out to a good start here. Tom Pileski and Vincent Pace, both 9 points each, both on 4 of 10 shooting from the field, so pretty efficient. And Pace 1 for 3 from 3. And Pileski also, in addition to his 3 blocks, he has 5 rebounds on this game. So diverse scoring options for the Jumbos here today.
Yeah, especially when you have guys like Pace and Spatterford who shoot the ball really well, but also have decent length. So when they drive in, they can finish around the basket really well too. And Amherst is, with the lack of shot blocking, really struggled with that.
Yeah, David George, their 6'8" big man, spent quite a bit of time on the bench with 2 fouls in that half. George only had 10 minutes, so half the time spent on the bench for George. And coming in for him was Eric Conklin. He contributed only 5 points in 10 minutes. So
and you saw the Jumbos were able to play really physical and effective defense against Conklin.
Yeah, and what do you think both these teams will do to adjust at halftime?
So I think offensively for Amherst, off the pick and roll, Tufts, especially when they run it off a big man, they've been doubling the ball handler, and you got to make that extra pass, or else you're going to end up with those emphatic blocks that get the crowd into the game and really shift the momentum. So if you're Amherst, the Amherst guards, they've got to really look for that extra pass off the pick and roll, and so they can utilize their great three-point shooting. On the Tufts end, I think it's continuing doing what you're doing, right? You want the tempo to be under your control. Amherst has yet to prove they can score in a half-court situation, so just keep the tempo at your pace and don't let Amherst establish that running game and start dropping the prolific three-point shooting on you.
Yeah. All right. Well, didn't look like we had any tweets, so we'll go back to second half coming up. Tufts up 45-31 Amherst. Welcome back to Cousins Gymnasium for the start of the second half here on JumboCast. Tufts leading 45-31 over 11th ranked Amherst. Amherst number 1 in the NESCAC right now with only one conference loss, and the Jumbos in 4th looking to improve on that with the NESCAC tournament looming. Matt Macy-Phelps here with Matthew Lee. What were your impressions on that first half and how Amherst will have to rebound here?
Well, Amherst really needs to get some sort of a half-court offense going. Most of their points have been off, great individual baskets or transition baskets, but nothing really out of their half-court sets. And they got to find a more sustainable way of getting points. Tufts has been doing such a great job on the rebounds and controlling the tempo that Amherst really hasn't been able to run as they usually like to do to an effective rate.
And both teams coming out with their original starting lineups for the Lord Jeffs. That is McCarthy, Dawson, Green, George, and Racy. For the Jumbos, it's Smith, Pace, Spataford, Poleski, and Haladina. McCarthy, who had the 60-footer going into halftime. And Green driving on Spataford. Good defense by the senior. George swatted away by Poleski, his 4th block of the game.
Yeah, Jumbos not giving up on the play. They know they're a bit late because of that pick and roll, but you stay with the play and get the block there.
Poleski, the leading shot blocker by far in the NESCAC. And a handoff to Green, layup will roll in.
Green really has such a great touch, really natural scorer.
.12 on the shot clock for Pace. He'll pull up from 3 and he'll hit from 3. Dawson in the lane, foul and 1. For the sophomore getting the contact.
Here we have the replay here. Dawson. Great penetration. I think Smith might have gotten him on the hand there.
And managing to avoid the block of Poleski to get the extra point there. And free throw doesn't go. That'll be off Amherst.
Amherst 2 for 5 in the first half from the free throws, so not really shooting too well from the line in this game.
And on that same token, Tufts only 1 of 3 from the free throw line, so the refs really letting them play in this one. Go down to Poleski. Lefty hook is no good. And Racy saves the rebound.
Poleski tried to go for the counter move there on his baseline spin move, but wasn't able to finish.
And Spataford's called for the block there. Tried to draw the charge on Dawson. Instead, it'll be his first personal foul and the second Tufts foul of the half. Green, corner 3. It might have been tipped by Spataford, and Haladina collects the rebound.
Coach Sheldon calling for a motion offense on this play.
Spataford gets around Green, dishes to Poleski, can't handle the pass. And Green with a nice scoop up there on the floor.
Green's really also a hustle player. He's hit the floor many times in this game already.
Dawson in the lane, fouled by Spataford.
Early on, Amherst's offense in this second half has been off a lot of penetration by Dawson. He's been able to get to the line for a second time.
Foul on number 3, Ryan Spataford.
Spataford quickly picking up his second foul.
Dawson at the line, shooting 2.
Dawson good on the first, and then Engvall will come in to replace Spataford.
You want to keep Spataford from picking up too much fouls early in the second half. Surely they'll need him down later on in the game during crunch time.
Yeah, a little too over-aggressive on that possession there. And Dawson misses it, but Green comes away with the board. So an extra possession for the Lord Jeffs. McCarthy. Green stripped away by Smith, but a foul's called.
I'm not happy with that play.
And they'll get it on Engvall, so Smith got the clean strip, but
let's look at the replay there.
And a very light push there.
Maybe we didn't have the camera angle, but it looked like very minimal contact there.
So 4 quick fouls on the Jumbos here in the half. And Amherst trail by 12. McCarthy thinks about it. George now. Green from deep, and banks it home.
Connor Green continues his great shooting touch. Just pulls up even though the defender is right there with him.
So the deficit for Amherst in the single digits now. Tufts, and an offensive foul is called, or no, turnover, excuse me. We're blocked by a little post here, so it's difficult to see. And Tufts will call timeout. Amherst with all the momentum.
Remember, this is the best team in the NESCAC, so they have a lot of confidence in themselves. They know they just need to establish their tempo to get back into this game. Here you see George, spin move, kick out. Connor Green just pulls up immediately.
Yeah, maybe got a little lucky there, but you know, what's basketball without a little bit of luck?
He's got the shooter's touch today.
The bank is open for the senior. He leads Amherst by far with 16 points on 7 of 12 shooting, including 2 of 4 from 3. Next highest is Johnny McCarthy down there at 8 points. But Green really pulling the weight here for the Lord Jeffs. And no substitutions during that timeout.
Bang Engvall having a couple of words with Connor Green out of this timeout.
And Dawson had a tip by Tufts. Green thinks about the 3. He'll pull up from a long 2, and that's no good. Pace uses the glass, can't get the layup. And Dawson in the paint, had it tipped away. And we'll see who comes away with the ball. George does. Racy with the 3, in and out. And that really would have brought this game back right to a close one.
And Tufts wants to slow down here and try to regain control of the tempo here. No need to rush a shot, but here's Smith. And if they're going to give that drive to him, he should take it every time.
So Tariq Smith just with 4 points on the game, but 2 big ones there to get Tufts a little momentum back.
And the crowd is back in the game.
Haladina out on Green. The floater off the glass does not go. George's tip doesn't go. And Haladina gets the board.
Everybody on Tufts collapsing in to help out on the rebounds. Great team rebound.
Engvall in the paint. Reverse layup. He'll get fouled. He'll go to the line.
Foul number 24, Connor Green.
And it'll be Connor Green's first foul of the game.
At the line, shooting 2.
Amherst with 1 team foul right now. Spataford returns to the game. Haladina to the bench. Engvall makes one of two. Tufts leading by 12. McCarthy pulls up, hand in the face, and hits the three.
McCarthy also not afraid to take big shots. He had a memorable half-court shot to end the first half.
Yeah, the sophomore showing composure here. Pileski draws contact, shot no good, and it's stripped away from Spataford. Green now, dumps it to George. And he gets Pileski on the fake and gets the quick shot to go off the glass.
Great patience by George there.
Quick run by Amherst, and they trail by 7 now. And a foul on the floor on McCarthy.
It's a great matchup there at the shooting guard position, McCarthy and Pace, about the same height. And here's McCarthy, just pulls up. Great defense by Pace, but even better offense. Both guards love to shoot the three, handle decently well. Both are 6'5", great matchup.
And Pace from three, he'll test it, no good. Engvall with the offensive board though. Tufts will reset. Spataford goes into Pileski. Lefty hook off the glass, gets it to go. What a shot from the big man.
Pileski is, again, that great all-around skill in the post. So many arrays of moves. Lefty hook there. Spataford all over Green.
Kick to Racy in the corner. Three's no good. And a foul on the board. That's on Spataford. Tangling with George.
If you're Amherst there, that's the type of movement you want to see. Green driving in, drawing in the Tufts defense, and then finding your three-point shooters.
He really drew 3 jumbos there on that baseline drive. We'll go to Green again. And leaves it short. Smith the other way. Pace with a step on McCarthy. Foul. Shot will not count.
There was the push before he started that layup.
Foul number 5. Jimmy Johnson's first foul, third on the team. Number 4.
Everett Dayton replaces Tariq Smith.
For Tufts.
It's the first personal foul on Dawson. Engvall gets the layup.
Nice, strong move there in the post by Engvall. Backs down his man and gets the easy 2.
And Dawson has it tipped away. It'll be off him. Tufts ball. Good work by Everett Dayton.
Great play by Tufts. It was defense that got them this 10-plus point lead, and now it's defense again that's helping them reestablish it. And Amherst, an offense that averages more than 80 points, only at 44, 7 minutes through the second half.
Pileski, covered by Conklin now into the game for George. Spataford in the lane. Engvall. 3 no good. And McCarthy chases down the rebound, but it'll be out of bounds off him. Tough ball. And Michael Riopel will rejoin the game. Amherst needs to sub one out.
Number 11, Michael Riopel.
They'll take McCarthy out, and Haladino will replace Pace for the Jumbos. Tufts up by 11 with 12.5 minutes left. Spataford launches, and he hits.
Spataford in rhythm, pulls up. He's very comfortable with that three-pointer from that range. Makes the shot.
Senior out of Rockville Center, New York, as Dawson launches the long two, gets the splash.
Jake Dawson.
Too much space there. Pulaski not stepping up because he doesn't want to give up the post, but enough room for a jump shot there.
Dayton, long two, answers. And Dawson fouled on his way up by Dayton.
It's been mostly Dawson and Connor Green thus far for Amherst in this half.
First foul, 6th on the team.
That's the 6th team foul on the Jumbo, so Amherst will be shooting free throws the rest of the way in this one.
For Amherst, that helps them stop the clock and still put points on the board, so look for them to continue to be aggressive on their offensive end.
And Dawson leaves it short.
Yeah, Amherst really hasn't been helping themselves with their free throw shooting percentage today, sitting around 50%.
One of two.
Number 12, Reed Berman replaces Jaden.
And Reed Berman comes back in to replace Dawson. Spatterford. The layup doesn't go. Haladina's attempt doesn't go, and Engvall is blocked there by Racy. Riopel the other way gets the layup to go in transition. Tufts coming back quickly the other way. Haladina gets his layup to fall out. Ooh. And no foul called on that one. Haladina looking for a call.
A lot of contact on that play.
And Green with the three gets it to go. Looked like Tufts was in a 2-3 zone there. And Green made them pay.
Connor Green has the green light to shoot anytime he's open from three. You can see why.
Poleski down low. Finds Spatterford on the drive. He's fouled by Racy. Amherst only their 4th team foul in the half.
Let's look on that replay here. Green off the handoff. Nobody steps up. Drains the three.
And Engvall hits the bench. Pace back on the floor. They find Spatterford, and that's well over the rim. Green fouled by Dayton.
Amherst hanging around, and now in the penalty, they'll get on the free throw line every time they can pick up a call like that.
And the Tufts lead has slipped to 8 points. And fouls are what allowed Trinity to win last night here.
The thing with defending a player like Green, it's so difficult because he has such a great head fake, and since he's so prolific from the three-point line, you just can't give it to him that easily. But then now he can drive and get the foul, stop the clock, and still put points on the board for Amherst.
And one of two from Green. Spatterford rips away the rebound. Tufts up by 7. Dayton with a nice dump down to Haladina, finishes off the glass.
Nice extra pass off the pick and roll. You just look at Amherst out of their rotation, there definitely was an open man.
Chance of Rogaine there for Berman, and the three is short by Racy. And Dayton's pass is wild.
Good help there by Amherst. Putting pressure on Pulaski.
Conklin down low, gets the layup over Pileski.
Eric Conklin.
Spatterford. Jump shot doesn't go, but a foul on the boards. It'll be on Racy.
Tough shot by Spatterford, but Haldenia very active there, able to pick up the foul call. Here's that nice pass by Dayton.
Spatterford to the bench. Smith back on. And Racy will hit the bench with McCarthy back in. And Haldenia can't get it to go. Second chance, no. It'll be tipped out. It'll stay with Tufts. Fresh shot clock.
Offensive rebounds were a factor in the first half, and it looks like they're continuing to be for Tufts in the second half.
Pileski fouled by Conklin. The foul starting to pile up here for the Lord Jeffs. Tufts not in the bonus yet, but they will be with the next foul. So Tufts with 7 fouls, Amherst with 6 in the half. We'll go to Pileski again. Layup off the glass, no good, rebound Green. Amherst trailing by 7. Hard drive from Riopel. Dayton with the board. And Smith, collision midair. They'll call a foul on Berman. And Smith will go for 1 and 1.
Foul on number 12, Green Berman. First foul, 7 on the team. Smith at the line, 1 and 1.
And that could have been scary there. Both players almost colliding heads on that one.
Yeah, hard collision between the two.
Smith good on the front end. Two for 2. Tufts back up by 9. Conklin with a spin, lays it in.
Eric Conklin.
Madsen, too strong. Amherst down 7 here, 8 minutes left.
Look for McCarthy or Green to get something here.
McCarthy step back, long 2. Spins out. Conklin on Haldenia. Riopel open 3, well short. They'll try to save the board, but it'll go to Tufts.
Green really wanted the ball in the mismatch with Smith there, but Amherst wasn't able to find him on that play.
Spatterford replaces Pace. And the Jumbos have 7 minutes to hold their 7-point lead. Smith throws it off the glass, gets it to go.
Smith, so much speed off the pick and roll, knows how to read the defense, able to finish beautifully there.
And great up fake from Conklin. Layup doesn't go though.
Tufts can make this a double-digit game here again. They score on this possession.
Haldenia in the lane, layup no good. Madsen tries to throw it home. Riopel in the lane, fouled by Madsen.
Foul is on number 32, Drew Madsen. Second foul, 8th on the team. Riopel at the line, shooting two.
No good for Riopel, and the free throw woes continue for the Ward Jeffs. Poleski replaces Madsen, and George and Racy come back in.
This could easily be a 5-point game or even closer if Amherst was shooting free throws at their normal clip.
And he'll make the second one. Poleski working on George, spins past him and gets the lay-in.
Baseline spin move again. Poleski loves that move with the drop step.
Tufts up by 10. George down low. Gets the hook to fall.
Nice jump hook by George. Backing down Poleski with his shoulder first. Create that space.
Poleski with 6 on the shot clock. He'll go to his right. He'll get it with his right.
What a great post matchup we're seeing now between George and Poleski. Each trading moves down in the block. Looking Tufts bench with the celebration too.
Poleski now with 15 on the game. George down low and leaves it short, and he fouls Poleski. Poleski's slow to get up, but he'll go to the other end for free throws.
Foul is on number 15, David George, his third, 8th on the team. Lesky at the line, 1 and 1. Number 13, Vincent Pace, checks into the lineup.
And Pace coming in for Everett Dayton. So 1 and 1 for the junior. No good. So a wasted possession there for the Jumbos. They find McCarthy in the corner, hits the 3. Back to a 7-point game here.
Amherst again still hanging around. See if they can build any momentum off that 3.
McCarthy with his 4th 3 in the game now. And Spataford in the lane. Amherst looking to make it a 2-possession game. Open 3, no good. Tipped around and saved by McCarthy, but it's to Spataford. No charge called. Berman looked like he flopped. Spataford with the open 3, in and out.
Here, Tufts, you have to watch out here. This is the tempo Amherst likes.
Racy well off the mark, and Tufts will settle it down. 4 minutes to go.
Interesting, Connor Green not being played right now in the crunch time moment for Amherst.
And they'll go to Pace, and he'll go to Poleski. He's fouled by George. So Poleski back on the line for 1 and 1.
Foul on number 15, David George, his 4th.
George has 4 fouls now.
Poleski at the line, 1 and 1.
And they'll go to Conklin.
Number 44, Eric Conklin, replaces
So George goes back to the bench.
David George for Amherst.
They'll also bring on Connor Green to replace Riopel.
Green replaces number 11, Michael Riopel for Amherst.
Pulaski hits the first. 16 points now. Pulaski gets them both. Clutch free throws after his previous miss. And Berman finds Green down low. Easy layup.
Green really great at looking in the open floor, looking for a good spacing. Finds an easy layup right on the basket there. Amherst, if you're Amherst now, you just got to push the ball every time. Try to create opportunities that way. For Tufts, just take their time, take some time off the clock, like they're doing here.
And a great move by Smith, and he finishes with a finger roll.
Again, Smith off the pick and roll. It's amazing at making great decisions there.
Green down low, fouled as he shoots.
Amherst down the stretch, going to Green, their top scorer. And look at Smith here, splitting the pick and roll. Goes between the two defenders, finishes with the right hand. Help came too late.
Green good on the first. Ben Engvall checking back in. And he'll replace Spataford.
Engvall replaces Ryan Spataford for Tufts.
Green gets them both. Tufts up by 7. Everyone on the edge of their seats here. Pulaski, layup good. Pulaski up to 18 points now. Or excuse me, he's got more than that. And the three rattles out. And Amherst commits a foul. Excuse me, Pulaski with 19 points now.
Foul on number 22, Jen Racy.
And Racy picks up his 4th foul.
On the team.
Now Amherst, although they're trying to be really aggressive on the defensive end, every time they're too aggressive, results in Tufts free throws, and they can expand the lead here.
Yeah, Tufts now in the double bonus with that being Amherst's 10th foul of the half. And it rattles out for pace. Misses them both. And the rebound tipped out to Berman. Engvall's tip. Green with the 3. Green's just to go, but it'll stay with Amherst.
Trying to shoot his team back into this game, putting them on his shoulders, but so far missing a couple of shots in a row. See if he can get his touch back before it's too late.
Green off the pick. Layup will fall. Timeout Amherst.
Connor Green, timeout Amherst. This is a 30-second timeout.
So a 7-point game here. Both teams will be shooting 2 free throws the rest of the way.
There's a replay. Just look at Tariq Smith again, so prolific off the pick and roll. Splits the defense. Help comes too late. Beautiful finish with the finger roll.
And now Connor Green, 10 of 20 from the field. And if you're Amherst, do you keep going to him or do you look to find some other options?
I think you wait for Tufts to collapse on Green and overhelp, and then hopefully one of your shooters opens up and you can get a couple of threes there.
So Tufts with a 7-point lead, under 2 minutes left, looking to pick up an enormous NESCAC win here.
Definitely.
And it'll be Tufts ball coming in. Amherst will come out with a full court press.
Dawson's also checked back in. He had a good start to the second half.
Smith will take it himself. It's hard off the glass. Pileski, they'll go to the line for 2.
And at this point, with only 1 minute and 31 left, keeping it at a 3-possession game makes it really hard for Amherst to come back.
Pileski good on the first. And he'll get his own rebound on the second. The Tufts will take more time off. And a foul called on McCarthy. Almost got the steal away.
You can't let Tufts milk away all 30 seconds of the shot clock if you're Amherst. So maybe not the worst decision there to go for the steal and pick up the foul if you can't get the steal.
Pace expands the lead to 9 now. Makes it 10. And around the NESCAC, Middlebury leading Colby by 11, and Hamilton up 6 on Bowdoin at half. Open Racy for 3. Can't get it. McCarthy with the board, though.
Final minute, second half.
Dawson floats it off the glass.
Jake Dawson.
And a timeout from Amherst. Their second to last timeout.
Timeout, Amherst. This is a full timeout.
So an 8-point game now. Amherst looking for quick buckets, and at this point they might have to foul the Jumbos.
The Jumbos, you want to make sure you run your press fake right, because they're probably going to come out with the full court press here. You don't want to have a turnover in your backcourt. You want to automatically assume they're fouling right out of the bat too. We've seen a couple of plays in the NBA or at the college level where you kind of expect them to foul, results in a steal or a travel. Like, you want to still be wary of the situation.
Yeah, and even past half court, if Amherst can trap the Jumbos in the sideline corners on the front court, they can force a timeout or maybe a turnover from the Jumbos. Tufts with 4 timeouts remaining, so not really a concern for the Jumbos to take one of those. And it might be smart, maybe if they can't get it in on an inbounds right away.
Yeah, especially with 50 seconds left. You just don't want Amherst to pick up the turnover right now, because that would actually put them back in the game with, if they make it a 2-possession game with 50 seconds left. It'd be a lot closer than it is now, the prospects.
Well, that was actually Amherst's last timeout, so. Amherst with 4 guys in the backcourt. And they'll foul Smith right away instead of letting him take time off. Smith a good free throw shooter.
Great inbounds play there. You saw Smith run through 2 screens and get open. That's all you need, just get the ball in.
And he's the right man for the job at hand right here.
Three-possession game, 9 points. Jumbos can even extend it if they make this free throw and really put it out of reach for Amherst here.
It's a 4-possession game now. Dawson kicks to McCarthy. Green open 3. Can't get it to go, and Haladina pulls out the board. He'll go to the line. And with 38 seconds, it looks like this one's just about wrapped up.
And Connor Green, down the stretch, really wasn't able to exhibit his scoring abilities like we're used to seeing. Missed quite a few makeable three-pointers down the line and really wasn't able to get his team back into the game, although he tried to put them on his shoulders. There you see Connor Green right there.
Green with 26 points on the game as Racy has fouled out. And Haldenia puts in the first. So Tufts doing Trinity some favors this weekend, first giving them the win last night on the road for the Bantams. And as Haldenia makes the second, they will knock off Amherst from the top spot. So after this, still waiting on the Trinity result later today, but they will move into first place in the NESCAC. And that three's no good. Trinity, Amherst will keep fouling here, so Pace will go to the line. And they really get on their feet here. Zach Roswald coming into the game now for Pileski. Pace good on the first. Trinity will play Bates at Bates tonight. As Roswald comes in. Pileski putting in a pretty good shift today. 20 points on 8 of 17 shooting with 9 boards. One short of the double-double. And Pace rattle out on the second. Green the other way. Layup is good.
Connor Green.
And it looks like they will not foul here. So Tufts will dribble it out. And they knock off Amherst, number 11 in the nation in D3. Tufts advancing to 17-5 and 6-3 on the year as the crowd goes nuts. Amherst falling to 18-4 and 6-2 in conference play.
Huge win for Tufts here. And if you look in the long run, it probably helps them if they want to look for a tournament bid down the road, beating such a highly ranked team like Amherst.
Yeah, certainly helping their at-large standing right now if they were to not win the NESCAC tournament. Massive game. If you look at the scoring for Tufts, it was really Pileski down low. He didn't hit any threes tonight, but 8 shots made, most in the paint, you have to say, and 4 of 7 from the line. Other players, Vincent Pace with 14 points, Tariq Smith with 12, and Spatterford for 11. All around good game from the Jumbos. Got out early, and the baskets kept falling in the second half. Established
the lead early, didn't let Amherst really get into a rhythm, and was able to just maintain that lead throughout the game with great defense.
So from Cousins Gymnasium with Matthew Lee, I'm at Macy Phelps here with JumboCast. Thank you for tuning in with us this season. This is our last regular season game here for the men. Who knows, maybe they'll get some postseason games here, and if they do, we'd love to have you. So thank you for tuning in.